remember a time when I used to try to show off and just jump on the stage. That's a mark of getting older, a little bit more cautious. You do care about being embarrassed, or you want to watch your steps. I used to just jump on the stage. Wouldn't even think about it. I can't believe I didn't do it. I thought about it for a second. But good evening, folks. It does give me great personal pleasure as the president of Johnson Wales University's North Miami campus to extend and present an award, 2 awards actually, to 2 very distinguished individuals. One is the Alumni Spirit Award, and the other is the Alumni Achievement Award. And these awards go to 2 very deserving individuals. I'm a little bit taken aback by both of them. As we've looked at their careers and have watched them over the years, they truly do reflect the role modeling that we aspire to in creating those bridges for our current students with alumni. It's just amazing to see their journeys and just sit back and watch them continue to grow and develop, and they understand the importance of coming back to the university and giving back. And so, with that said, I'm going to make some comments. I have to go through their bios, and I'll be very honest with you. As I was reading their bios, I was humbled, very impressed. I napped a few times. I'm reading those bios and I was thinking, wow, how much stuff can you do? How much stuff can they do? And they're just so involved in their communities, and their journeys and their respective fields have just been vast. And it truly is humbling. It's humbling. And it's tiring, even to read. So, so with that said, our first award is in recognition of an active and engaged alum. He or she must have had an integral part in showing commitment and really being integrated fully into the Johnson Wales alumni efforts in supporting the university. And this award is going to be presented to Stacey Ann Sinclair. You remain seated, Stacey Ann, because you'll be standing there for a while. So Stacey Ann is currently Area Director of Rasmussen College. She joined Rasmussen College in 2005 and has been working in the education industry for over 15 years. 15 years in education, higher education. Stacey Ann earned a Bachelor of Science degree in marketing with a focus on psychology from Johnson Wales University's North Miami campus, and also earned a Master's of Art degree in organizational management from the University of Phoenix. In 2010, Stacey Ann was recognized and awarded the Tampa Bay Up-and-Comers Award. Now, those awards are rare, and only certain individuals in the community and in the industry are acknowledged with that distinction. So while Stacey Ann attended Johnson Wales University, she was also selected when she was here. As a student, Stacey Ann was always in stuff. Like every time I turned around, she was involved in various clubs and organizations. Was a leader in many clubs and organizations, but was always front and center at major activities on campus and was involved. She was just a roll-up-your-sleeves type of student. And I was making a comment to her today. I said, you know, I'm glad that you met Elizabeth Estrada because she reminded me of you when you were a student here. She really did. It was that same go-getting personality, always acknowledging other students who may be struggling and just introducing them to the right persons. It's truly emulating that Johnson Wales spirit that we were hoping for in all of our students. And I just thank her for what she left behind, truly left a legacy on our campus. Now, that being said, when Stacey Ann was here, she received a lot of distinctions through the Direct Marketing Association. She was always involved in competitions and winning awards and even paid experiences and training. There's a number of activities that she was involved in at Johnson Wales, many of which our current students, when they look at alumni like Stacey, they just wonder, how much of this am I able to accomplish in the 4 years that I'm here? And I can tell you, Stacey, you certainly left the right example for our students. She received the College Student of the Year Award for the state of Florida in the year 2000, and also earned the first place award for DECA Collegiate DECA. in business to business and international marketing campaigns. She was the president of the Collegiate Ambassador Team, a yearbook, peer mentors, and was also vice president of FBLA. And she had won a scholarship through FBLA to attend Johnson & Wales. Today, Stacey Ann continues to be very involved in her community locally. In 2012, she became a board member of the Florida Association of Post-Secondary Schools and Colleges. In addition, in 2012, she was also inducted into the DECA Hall of Fame. That is rare, but she was inducted. That's amazing, Stacey Ann. She currently sits on the Tampa Bay Higher Education Alliance, the Tampa Bay Women's of Influence Committee, the Hillsborough Education Foundation, and is a board member of the Florida Diversity Council. And she is also an ambassador of the Peace Center for Girls. In addition, Stacey Ann is an avid sponsor and past chair for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Wow. And Stacey Ann loves the kids. I do. She's also involved with the Arthritis Foundation in Orlando to help support those living with multiple sclerosis. She is a member of the American Taekwondo Association, past president of Johnson. Everything including the kitchen sink. Stacey Ann, you truly made us proud of you. And I have to say, it does give me great honor and personal pleasure to ask you to come to the stage to receive this.
Humble. And when Dr. Rice had reached out to me and Liz in Providence, I said, huh? Why? And then when I had to read my bio, I go, oh, okay. I truly do what I do every day because I love it. Not because someone asked me to do it, not because it's the right thing to do, it's because I love to do it. And I'm involved in as many things that I do because everybody wants to leave a legacy. And I believe my legacy is being involved and giving back to the community. And whatever I can do, as Dr. Rice says, I do love the kids. And so I have 1,500 of them. And however I can make a positive impact in their lives every day, that's what I kind of drives me and motivates me to do everything that I do each and every day. So I am extremely humbled and thank you so much for this distinction. It's been, I can't believe it, 15 years of being involved with the Alumni Association here. Some of the things that wasn't in my bio, but I did oversee the Alumni Association Worldwide for Johnson & Wales for 4 years. And it was extremely a pleasurable position that I had for 4 years. And it did give me the opportunity to go to every Johnson & Wales and to make an impact into the classrooms and just to get around and to see all the students and to mentor and to give back. And so today, as I stand here, I say thank you so much to my Johnson & Wales family, because it truly is a family. And everyone that I see, especially these three at the front, and Dr. Rice, Liz and Susan, and everybody with the university, thank you so much, because this has been the best decision of my life. It is to start my journey with Johnson & Wales. And it doesn't end, because I will continue to be involved each and every day and every year to give back, because I know what this university did for me, and I know what it will do for everyone else. So thank you so much.
Our second award is in recognition of an alum who has reached the top of his or her professional career and has made recognizable impact in his or her industry. This award is going to be presented to Daryl Chip Wade. Chip Wade is an executive vice president of operations for Red Lobster and is also an officer of the company. So that says a lot. It's one thing to be an executive within an organization, but to also be one of the major players around the table where all the true decisions are being made behind the scenes. That says even more, folks. So I'm humbled even in reading Chip's bio, and I will admit I dozed off a little bit. Previously, Chip was Senior Vice President of Enterprise Operations for Darden. And for those of you who do not know, Darden is the world's largest full-service restaurant operating company, largest one in the world. Prior to that, he was Senior Vice President of Red Lobster's Liberty Division, where he was also responsible for day-to-day operations of nearly 100 restaurants located in 7 states and the District of Columbia. Chip spent 2 years away from Darden when he served as Chief Operating Officer for Legal Seafoods. Prior to that, he was Senior Vice President of Development for Smoky Bones. That was a form of Darden's concept. Chip initially joined Darden as the Director of Revitalia for Olive Garden's existing restaurants. Revitalia was a part of the system-wide repositioning of the brand. Prior to joining Darden, Chip spent 12 years with TGI Fridays, where he progressed just through many of the management positions there and continued to just grow and develop. A founding board member for the Multicultural Food Service and Hospitality Alliance, Chip is a dedicated proponent of diversity. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Multicultural Food Service and Hospitality Alliance, that is an incredible organization. Those who are around the table as board members represent the executives of the hospitality industry. So if you just go online to mfha.org, it's an incredible organization to be affiliated with. If you've never heard of it, definitely go and check it out. I would certainly encourage you to do that. Chip holds an associate's degree in culinary arts from Johnson & Wales University's Providence campus. He received his bachelor's degree in hotel and restaurant management from Widener University and a master's degree in business administration from the University of Texas. Additionally, in 2006, he received an honorary degree in business administration and food service management from Johnson & Wales University. And the university, system-wide, does not make light its decision in terms of who qualifies as honorary degree recipients. And no one has ever received an honorary degree from Johnson & Wales out of their choice. So it's not something you can apply for. That's something for which, but system-wide, there's a deep review and there's a due diligence process that takes place to determine who is actually at a level to be conferred with an honorary degree. And Chip was conferred an honorary degree in 2006, and that, folks, is a big deal. In 2014, Red Lobster separated from Darden and became a private company owned by Golden Gate Capital. Red Lobster is the world's largest seafood restaurant company, headquartered in Orlando, Florida, where Chip and his family live. They have over 700 restaurants in the United States and Canada. Red Lobster has 58,000 employees and serves 100 million meals annually. That's a lot of food. Folks, it truly does give me great pleasure to ask Chip Wade to come to the stage to be acknowledged for
Good evening. I did know about the 2 to 3 minute remarks. And because of that, I have 37 pages. I'm just kidding. First of all, thank you, Dr. Rice. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate it. I want to say congratulations to all the recipients. Give yourselves a round of applause. You all deserve it. I want to thank the university for hosting this event and for this distinguished award. I'm both humbled and honored, and I mean that sincerely. But before I go into my remarks, I do want to recognize Liz, who I think is somewhere in the back. Let's give Liz one more round of applause. I said to Liz when I came on campus today, and I meant this from the bottom of my heart, when Johnson & Wales calls, I will come. So whatever you need, whenever you need me or you need some members of my staff, we will always make time for Johnson & Wales. A cute little fellow. You're more than welcome. So like many of you, when I got the call, I was, as I said, both humbled and honored, but I was surprised. I do what I do because I love what I do, and I sincerely love devoting time and resource and energy to Johnson & Wales. Now, I'm a tad bit older than many of the recipients. It's been well over 30 years since I graduated from Johnson & Wales. As Larry said, my degree's in culinary arts and my passion is around food. But I can tell you, every day since I graduated from Johnson & Wales, every day I've used the teachings and the foundations that I learned at Johnson & Wales, both personally and professionally. Johnson & Wales really provided for me at a young age, 17 and 18, clarity and direction. And so clarity in the sense that the instincts that I had about the industry were strengthened. Like many of you, I got my first job at 15 or 16. I was a porter at a Dunkin' Donuts in a town called Media, Pennsylvania, and I cleaned toilets and mopped floors. Sounds like some of you are familiar with either Dunkin' Donuts or Media. And if you're familiar with Media, unbelievably, God bless you all. But I got this sense of clarity and direction at Johnson & Wales. And then the direction came from the point of view that one could have a career and earn a living in the hospitality business, which I grew up raised by a single mom. My siblings, my parents and my grandparents worked in a factory, which is not, it's fairly typical, but I honestly did not know that one could earn a living being hospitable, friendly, caring, and engaging. And so, Johnson & Wales provided that clarity and that direction, and that family infrastructure I learned right away. Several folks have asked me about my career and my success, and for those who would define me as successful, which for the love of Mary, I wouldn't, right? I'd say I've been remarkably candid. Aspirationally, I still aspire to be a successful leader, a successful husband, and a successful father. It's the journey that we all go on, but the roots and the foundations of success for me were born in Providence, Rhode Island, where I got my associate's degree again. In addition to providing clarity and direction, Johnson & Wales gave me just 4 foundational themes. And I wanted to share those with you real quickly, and then I'll conclude my remarks. But I did learn at Johnson & Wales this notion of dreaming and dreaming big. And I learned that from professors. Dr. Rice just talked about MFHA, the Multicultural Food Service and Hospitality Alliance. The president is a gentleman by the name of Jerry Fernandez. And I would tell you to Google MFHA again, to look up Jerry Fernandez. I had an interview, an externship with Jerry. I had to interview to go on an externship at Walt Disney World Resorts in Orlando, Florida. Again, this is 1983, and I met with Jerry, and he challenged me and taught me this simple thought, this theme of dreaming and dreaming big, and it's something I share with my vice presidents, and my directors, and my GMs today. Johnson & Wales taught me about consequences, quite frankly. And I don't know if this is still the case today, but in Rhode Island, in culinary school, you could not have a refrigerator, you couldn't have a toaster, you couldn't drink in your dorm, and there was a lot of rules. It was almost military life. And the interesting thing is, within the first 14 days, about 19 kids got kicked out of school. True story. And I'm like, consequences. I better pay attention. And I still teach the importance of consequences, both the good and the bad, right? The consequences of working hard and networking I learned at Johnson & Wales. Be curious. For all aspiring leaders in whatever you do, be curious about your careers, be curious about your lives. Ask a lot of questions. And I tell my leaders, as I'll share with you, maintain an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. That's a powerful statement, right? An unquenchable thirst for knowledge means you're always thirsty. I would encourage everyone to stay thirsty, to stay curious, to network. There's some great friends that I met tonight, and guess what? I'm going to stay friends with all of you whose card that I got. And the last thing I learned, and I learned a lot at Johnson & Wales, Johnson & Wales really reinforced in me that people make a difference. That people can make a meaningful difference in their lives. And so aspirationally, I try to make a meaningful difference in the lives of all of the people that I come into contact with. Whether that is one of my vice presidents or the produce driver who brings in lettuce to our restaurants. And I think all of us have a responsibility to make a meaningful difference in the lives of everyone that we come into contact. And again, those 4 themes were rooted at Johnson & Wales. And frankly, I would not be the person and the leader I am today. And I have a ways to go. Just call my wife one day. She'll tell you I forget to take the trash down, and I've got my warts. But frankly, I think my roots are grounded in what I learned in Johnson & Wales, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity that they gave me and the friends that I've made in 3 of the 4 campuses. It's been fantastic. So thank you. I do appreciate the award and the recognition.
Thank you so much, Chip. Certainly your words were inspiring and right on point. And that was a common theme throughout this evening. I took note that each person who came to this lectern and spoke had something quite moving and impactful to share. It was it's not like the Oscars where folks forget to start having the music play in the background. They just turn it down. And each person who spoke left us with something. Each person. And that was, for me, affirmation of why those individuals were selected for those awards. Folks, it's not easy. It's not easy. I have to tell you, it is not easy. 100,000 alumni. You have 100,000 years out there where you represent one of the 100,000. And out of 100,000 individuals, 12 alumni were identified this evening. And I have to tell you, this all looks great, doesn't it? But Liz, Susan, just come closer so they can see you. Take a look at that. Where's Liz? You have to come forward. I have to tell you, these ladies truly understand how to demonstrate the caring, the sharing, the loving that we believe and here at Johnson Wales University. And that it doesn't end when you graduate, but that should be expressed to our alum throughout their life. So your experience at Johnson & Wales is your continuous legacy. You will live it each and every day, and it's lifelong. And I'd like to formally thank both of you for the work that you did this evening. Now, I know something that perhaps they don't know. She's really crying because the words I'm speaking are so moving to her. But, folks, look at, they did a great job, but you can't, in one evening, capture what has taken place for several months. I mean, this has been a process of vetting to determine who you honor this evening. And so it's really hard for us to, in a manner such as this, to truly express to you what you truly mean to our institution. And we just hope that you accept this evening as a token of our respect and admiration for what you have done in your respective fields and what you've done for this university. And we look forward to furthering our relationship with you as you continue to thrive and grow in life and in your careers. This was an amazing evening. I truly appreciate all that you brought to us. There are many alumni out there who do amazing things. And it would be nice if we were able to recognize each of them. And so I told Liz and Susan, I don't envy anyone who has to go through the process. So that and when we have to make the final decisions, not easy. It was not fun. But I have to tell you, I hope that you are proud. For those of you who are family members, please stand. Friends and family who came out in support of our awardees. Thank you so much for coming out.
Free cake.
So folks, when you entered into this building, there was a Wildcat statue outside that most of you didn't see. It wasn't here when you were students. So on that Wildcat statue, you will see the words imprinted on it, engraved on it, pride and courage and character and community. We started there. Like, who among our alum can we say have really died as all four of those core elements of the Johnson & Wales Wildcat spirit? We call it the Wildcat Way. And we try to each and every day get our students to reflect those character traits. And we want them to see them as the way of a Wildcat. So you're all Wildcats for life. And we believe that for those who were our awardees this evening, that you have truly reflected that Wildcat way. So we see pride in your actions, we see courage that you've taken, we see the character that you are able to express in your workplace and in your lives, and we also believe that you've learned how to build community. And so thank you for all that you've done, and we are looking forward to continuing this type of event each year. And that concludes our evening.